Two teams, Colombia producing a good crop of young players these days and seeking to reach their first World Cup finals since 1998. 21-year-old James Rodriguez of Porto is being charged with the responsibility of bringing craft and guile to a midfield which includes McNally Torres, who's preferred to Inter Milan's Freddy Guarín. All eyes will be on one of the most talked about strikers in world football right now, Radamel Falcao, who's made a blistering start to the season with Spanish club Atletico Madrid. Well, Uruguay miss Luis Suarez. The Liverpool striker has hit 6 goals in qualifying, but he's suspended. Diego Forlán and Edinson Cavani lead the attack. Only Forlán and Victorino play their football outside of Europe with Brazilian clubs Internacional and Cruzeiro respectively. This is a very experienced starting 11 with close to 600 caps between them. The referee is Brazilian, Heber Lopez. I had the great fortune to travel around Colombia last year for the Under-20 World Cup, was here in Barranquilla, and I'm sure you can see from the pictures the stadium is an absolute dream here. Packed predominantly, of course, with the yellow fans of Colombia. Uruguay, Diego Forlán and company, not without their support here though. And the Uruguayans are certainly the form team on the continent in the last 2 years after their semi-final in the last World Cup finals and also winning the Copa America last year. Just got a brief shot of Jose Pekerman, an Argentine who is in charge of Colombia these days. Hasn't been at the helm for very long. They sacked Leonel Alvarez 3 matches into qualifying, Colombia. And the ex-national team coach of Argentina, Pekerman, brings a lot of experience to the job. And with no game in this round of matches for the current leaders in South American World Cup qualifying, Chile, an opportunity for Uruguay to go to the top of the standings. This is their match in hand on the Chileans. Both these sides have played 5 up to now. Colombia's record, 2 wins, a draw and 2 defeats. Uruguay, 3 wins and 2 draws. There's Valdez working the ball wide to Armero, who'll be the left back looking to push forward and support the attack at every opportunity. Here's Valdez. Falcao. Maxi Pereiro's rattling into the challenge. And away by Lugano. Forlán trying to work off his own header, forward by Valdez. Maxi Pereira, the 2 Pereiras in the Uruguay starting 11. The other one is Alvaro, plays on the left of midfield. This is Aguilar, very experienced defensive midfield player, wearing number 8 for Colombia. Free kick here for the home nation. There's Rodriguez, played in the Under-20 World Cup for Colombia last year. Only a matter of time when he would eventually step up into the senior ranks. He's 21 years old and bristling with talent. Colombia looking to threaten for the first time. Zuniga. And the shot is in! And it's that man, Radamel Falcao! You just cannot keep this man off the score sheet at the moment. The most sought-after striker in world football strikes in the opening exchanges. And what a crisp finish it was. Sheer delight for the Colombian supporters. And the man they expected to deliver has delivered, Radamel Falcao. Well, what a start for Pekerman. There's the cross from Zuniga. It was a missed kick in front of Falcao, but he kept his eyes firmly on proceedings, and there was no chance for Muslera in the Uruguay goal. Poor attempt to stop the cross coming in from Alvaro Pereira. And Oscar Tavares won't be happy with the number 11 on the ball here in his part, which led to the Falcao goal in the second minute. Uruguay looking for a quick reply. Cavani put it into the ground rather than the power he was seeking to generate. It was half a chance for Edinson Cavani. Here's Armero. Zuniga. Valdez for Armero. Aguilar. Lovely play from Colombia. That was a pity for James Rodriguez. He'd made a great run, the pass was into his stride and the youngster just couldn't control. Well, they might be looking for their record goal scorer. Diego Forlan and Cavani already here, Uruguay. Forlan on the day of his 90th cap for Uruguay. All-time record scorer with 33 goals. 33 years old now, incidentally, Forlan. Been amongst the goals recently for his Brazilian club Internacional. This is Teofilio Gutierrez. And then the Alvaro Pereira challenge, not a particularly good one. Zuniga happy to buy the free kick. Pereira's challenge inviting rather unnecessary pressure on the Uruguay defence. Here comes the free kicks beyond Falcao. Aguilar will keep it in. Here's Armero. Mosquera. Colombia haven't reached the World Cup final since 1998, long overdue. Of course, all the South American nations seeking to qualify know that they've got the relatively short trip to Brazil for the finals themselves in 2014. Of course, with Brazil not having to qualify as hosts, extra opportunity for these two to make their mark. Good in for the Uruguay captain, Lugano. Just a little slow there, Victorino. He got a free kick, but took an age to strike his foot through the pass. Forlan. Good closing down on Christian Rodriguez. I had a little inquiry of the referee as to whether that might have been a foul. This is McNelly Torres. Good passer of the ball, always keen to get on it. Keep an eye out for the number 20 for Colombia. This is Forlan. Never looking like he was going to link up with Cavani. This is Aguilar. Just turning Victorino with a pass. It was always a little too strong for the willing Rodriguez. Uruguay at the start of 3 away qualifiers in their next 5 games. After they're at home to Ecuador next Tuesday, they go to Argentina and Bolivia. Cavani. Alvaro Pereira. Perez. Alvaro Pereira again. Going to put his left foot through this, but it's never troubling Ospina's goal. Pereira's just made a move to the Italian club Inter Milan. Previously with Porto. Falcao. Strong challenge from Alvaro Rios. It is Valencia. Falcao. Just a pity he couldn't put more on the cross there, because Gutierrez had taken up a great position at the far post. Home crowd warming to the eager start in the opening 10 minutes that Colombia have made here. Mosquera. Mentioning earlier that all but 2 of this Uruguay starting 11 play for major clubs in Europe. Colombian players travel the globe these days. As many as 6 of their starting 11 are also in Europe. Here's one of them, Aguilar, who plays in Spain with newly promoted Deportivo La Coruña. Zuniga. He's made a good run forward here, Zuniga. Source of the goal in the 2nd minute for Colombia. He's made a very attacking start to this game, Camilo Zuniga of Napoli. Offside. Uruguay will be hoping to qualify rather more serenely than has been the case in the last 3 South American qualifying campaigns, where they've sneaked into 5th place on each occasion, a playoff. Coincidentally, they squeezed Colombia out narrowly on each of those 3 occasions. 2006, 2010 by a single point. 2002, Colombia and Uruguay finished level on points. Uruguay qualified with a better goal difference of 1. Well, it will be 1 point between the 2 nations at the end of today if Colombia win. Marathon campaign, of course, 18 matches spread over 2 years. Victorino. Forlan. Alvaro Pereira is left to Forlan. Looks into the middle instead. Rodriguez almost broke the challenge. Just did enough there, Colombia. And they're happy that the shot is way wide from Diego Perez. Hands on his head, and every reason to, because he had a good side of goal here. Mosquera. Now Valdez. Torres did well to regain his balance. Falcao, how did he wriggle away from two there? It's brilliant play from Radamel Falcao, and forces the save out of Muslera. He is hot. Playing with so much confidence at the moment, the 26-year-old Atletico Madrid striker. Scored a hat-trick, of course, in the recent Europa League final, or should I say the European Super Cup final. Winners of the Europa League beat the Champions League winners Chelsea. Falcao with a hat-trick, and he's in there again, so powerful in the air. Going to be a good contest between he and the captain, Lugano. Nice exchange between the two, both fully committed for the ball there. In the name of Falcao, Falcao rings around this stadium in Barranquilla. Amero. Free kick against Cavani. Mosquera. Rodriguez, rather Torres looking for Rodriguez. Carried all the way there by Victorino. Here's Torres. Valencia. It's loose control by Zuniga. "17 places separate these two nations in the current world rankings. Uruguay were recently as high as second, they've dropped to fourth. Colombia down in 21st. Alvaro Pereira. Rodriguez closed down well by Valencia. This is Victorino. Oscar Tavares, the Uruguay head coach, took charge of their team in the Olympics, and they were very disappointing. Quite a setback. They were expected to do a lot better, the under-23 Uruguayan squad in the London Olympics this summer. Hugely disappointing. Got his first foul of the game. He's going to have to be careful, Cavani. Might be exhausting the referee's patience soon. Carlos Valdez. Aguilar. Valencia. There's this outlet ball again of Zuniga. Aguilar. James Rodriguez. And now Cavani. Stopped in his tracks by Valdez. Plays his football in the MLS in the USA with the Philadelphia Union Club. That was that brilliant run from Falcao. Uruguayans currently on a record 18 matches unbeaten. Maxi Pereira doesn't contest the decision from the assistant. Good work from Mosquera, the goal kick to Colombia. Well, so far, David Ospina in the Colombia goal hasn't been exercised at all. A couple of long-range shots which have flown well wide of his target. Alvaro Pereira playing much deeper than we're normally accustomed to seeing him. Usually a left-sided midfielder, but he's very much in the left-back role tonight, Alvaro Pereira. Aguilar. Forlan. Pass wasn't the best. The referee decided there was a foul in there on Maxi Pereira. Forlan just delaying the free kick till the captain Lugano and his centre-back partner Diego Godin get forward. Delivered by Forlan. Goalkeeper came a long way and got there. Christian Rodriguez. Alvaro Pereira. Goalkeeper again committed. Doesn't deal with it. Needed helping out there. He was under pressure from Godin. The goalkeeper was rather fortunate. Rodriguez. Falcao with room to manoeuvre. Looked like he was offside there. And the flag is up against Teofilio Gutierrez, for whom this is a really big day. The Colombia striker, number 19, was born in this city of Barranquilla. So keen to impress. And was he offside? It's a tight one. The awkward moment for the goalkeeper Ospina. Not the most convincing there. Forlan. Poor pass from Perez. He's better than that. Peckerman hasn't been into the job very long. They lost their last qualifier, 1-0 up at altitude in Quito against Ecuador. Colombia yet to win at home. This is their third home qualifier. They drew 1-1 here with Venezuela and lost 2-1 to Argentina. Their two wins came in Bolivia, 2-1, and away to Peru by a single goal to nil. Uruguay are the top scorers so far in South American qualifying, 14 goals from 5 games, but they are missing their top scorer, who's provided 6 of those along the way. Liverpool's Luis Suarez is suspended. Painful one for Gutierrez. I think it was Lugano who caught him. That was good in. Zuniga. Valencia. Valdez, Almero. Falcao just felt he was being held for a moment there by Lugano. The referee says play on. Misplaced Colombian header, which Cavani is showing interest in. So too, importantly, was the home goalkeeper, Ospina. Here's the goal, came in the second minute. And the most assured finish from one of the best in the business, Radamel Falcao. Mosquera, Aguilar, Torres, fair to say that the centre-back partnership for Colombia is not their most recognised one. Valdez and Mosquera, last international, but the much more experienced Mario Yepes and Luis Pereira in it. Yepes is suspended for this match. And so too Pereira. Maybe both of them would have been out there from the start had they been available. Now, is he fouled there, Cavani? No. Makes gestures with his arms, but the official's not interested in his claim. Zuniga. Into that area of the pitch where you can see all the ticker tape that was produced from the crowd when the two teams came out. Aguilar. Bit of room now for McNally Torres. Falcao. This is an area of Colombia in the north near the Caribbean Sea, which enjoys a tropical climate all year round. As I mentioned earlier, I was here for the Under-20 World Cup last summer. And this city of Barranquilla gets as warm as anywhere in the country. Temperatures around this time of the year often in the 90s Fahrenheit. Falcao quite deep. He's earned a free kick. Challenge from Christian Rodriguez, who's his club teammate at Atletico Madrid. So is Diego Godin, playing at the back for Uruguay. So they know all about his threat. McNelly Torres with the Colombia free kick. Almost half an hour gone. Flicked on by Falcao. Just got enough on that, Lugano, but the whistle has gone in Uruguay's favour. Rodriguez. Perez. Maxi Pereira back here with Victorino. Valencia. Good ball to Zuniga. Left back Almero's made a gamble forward on the left of James Rodriguez, who's in possession here. Nice football from Colombia. He won't test Muslera, but the build-up was neat. Shot from McNelly Torres. Plays his club football in Colombia, the number 20 with a shot. He's with the Atletico Nacional club. Got the nod over Freddy Guarín, who's more experienced, the heart of the midfield. Good work here by Perez. Alvaro Pereira. Christian Rodriguez. Alvaro Pereira. Gutierrez has done well. And the break's on here for Colombia. Torres looking for Falcao and picking out Radamel Falcao. He in turn can't find Gutierrez. Perez. Alvaro Pereira. Cavani. Victorino. Climb by Valdez, easily getting the better of Forlan. Gutierrez. It's good defending initially by Uruguay. Still some work to do in towards Falcao. Brilliant covering header by Lugano. Fantastic piece of defending there from Diego Lugano. Had he not intervened, it could easily have been 2-0, another goal for Falcao. Alvaro Pereira. Nice layoff from Forlan. Here's Cavani. Forlan. Just hasn't quite been the understanding between Forlan and Cavani in the opening 34 minutes. Here's the great defending from Lugano. Once this ball comes in, he has to make it. Zuniga. Mosquera. Now Armero. And there are a number of players out here who play their club football in Italy. Colombia left back is with Udinese. You'll be familiar with a lot of these Uruguayan players who play in Serie A. One of them there, Bologna, Diego Perez, work it wide here to Alvaro Pereira. Forlan. This time he does pick out Cavani. Maxi Pereira losing out to Aguilar, now Victorino. Some of the closing down has been excellent from Colombia in the first half. Been half a yard sharper in most areas of the pitch for me. Aguilar doing a good job there on Maxi Pereira. Mosquera. Now Valdez. Armero. Such a warm day, possession is key. Work the opposition when they haven't got the ball. Certainly drain the resources this heat. Valencia. Falcao. Looking to shuffle it out wide to James Rodriguez. Here's Cavani. Maxi Pereira. Just think that got caught in the sun there for Christian Rodriguez. Just couldn't see the pass. Here's Torres. Torres, lovely pass. James Rodriguez stole away there from Maxi Pereira, who's quick to get goal side. Armero. That's a Colombia corner. Just a little example there of the extra passing ability that McNally Torres brings to the Colombian midfield. Excellent weighted ball there for James Rodriguez, which has led to this corner. Two Atletico Madrid teammates, Godin and Falcao, looking after one another in there. Armero. James Rodriguez. Too strong from the youngster. Well, the pictures tell you about the heat of the day in Barranquilla. Valencia. Zuniga. Seen plenty of the ball for Colombia in the first half, the right back. There's that good closing down again by Colombia, this time on Forlan. Good looking pass here and a good race. And Navarro Pereira edged out of it by a superb piece of defending. Christian Rodriguez. It's a chance here for Christian Rodriguez, broke the challenge, which wasn't a particularly good one. And then it was very disappointing with the final shot. It's as good an opportunity as Uruguay have had in this first half. Valencia. Foul on Torres. Luis Pereira, who I can qualify, escaped a suspension for this game. Nice layoff from Forlan. Perez. Rodriguez. Aguilar. Valencia. Aguilar, Falcao, Rodriguez, Romero, throw to Colombia. Valencia. Zuniga. Looking for Falcao, was well policed by Lugano. Heading towards half-time. Uruguay have had one or two openings. Their shooting has been of a disappointing standard up to now. Only goal of the game scored very early on in the second minute by Falcao. Continues to be the principal goal threat to the Uruguayans. Aguilar. Look for Gutierrez. He wasn't too far away from getting something on that. Torres with a pass, it was almost perfect. What a thrill it would be for Teofilo Gutierrez to score. Plays his club football in this stadium with the Atletico Junior Club of Barranquilla. Teo is the name that's being sung from the stands here. This is Christian Rodriguez, got out easily by the Colombia defence. Now James Rodriguez for Colombia. Torres trying to break the challenge and did so of Perez, and then a lovely pass, goalkeeper committed, just got there ahead of Gutierrez. I'm happy to see that it was a sky blue shirt on the end of his punch clear. Muslera had to come. The referee from Brazil, Heber Lopez, decides that's enough for the first half of this South American World Cup qualifying game. Sixth game in qualification for both Colombia and Uruguay, but it's the Colombians who have the lead thanks to their star striker Radamel Falcao, who benefited from a Camilo Zuniga cross in the second minute, and work to do for so far unbeaten Uruguay in the second half. Half-time at the Metropolitano Stadium, Colombia 1, Uruguay 0.
This program is brought to you by Bet365.com, the world's biggest online sports betting company.
Hello. I'd like to tell you about Bet365.com, the world's biggest online sports betting company. The reason why they're the world's #1 is very simple. They do great odds on a massive choice of sports. And guess what? Bet365.com is now based in Australia.
Kennedy's Whiskey, born out of passion and dedication in a rural village on the southwest coast of Ireland. This award-winning whiskey is matured in Irish and bourbon cask oak to deliver the fullest of flavours. This is no ordinary whiskey. This is Kennedy's.
The N-Power Championship continues next weekend on Setanta Sports with 3 live games. Charlton versus Crystal Palace, Cardiff versus Leeds, and Wolves versus Leicester. The N-Power Championship live next weekend on Setanta Sports. This program is brought to you by Bet365.com, the world's biggest online sports betting company.
Welcome back to the Metropolitano Roberto Melendez Stadium in northern Colombia. We're in the city of Barranquilla, and the home nation lead so far unbeaten Uruguay in South American World Cup qualifying by a goal to nil. The goal scored as early as the second minute from the bang-in form Radamel Falcao. Uruguay missing their star striker Luis Suarez due to suspension. So a lot of pressure on Forlan and Cavani to come up with the goals in this second half to maintain Uruguay's unbeaten record. Uruguayans have rather made use of 4 home qualifiers in their first 5 games, from which they've taken 10 points. Their only previous away qualifier was in Paraguay. It ended in a 1-1 draw. But they've found Montevideo very much to their liking, beating Peru 4-2, Bolivia 4-2, Chile 4-0. The only points they've dropped were at home to Venezuela in a 1-1 draw. Substitution for Uruguay at the start of the second half. This is Alvaro Gonzalez coming on. Another of the Uruguayan players, the new man Gonzalez, who plays in Italy. He's with Lazio. Colombia with the same 11 that started the games. The qualifier there, it was Victorino who came off to be replaced by Gonzalez. Christian Rodriguez. Controlled beautifully on the chest by Falcao. It's a throw to Colombia. Atletico Madrid will do well to hold on to Radamel Falcao in the January transfer window. They'll just be happy that one window is just closed. But there'll be plenty of suitors for his signature come January, that's for sure. And we're talking about the very best clubs around, the Manchester Cities, the Paris Saint-Germain's, in terms of the money that the French club have got these days. And don't rule out Russia. There's plenty of money washing around in Russian league football at the moment. Angie Makakala spending for fun these days. Now it's a lovely run. It's a good pass, it's a goal! Scored by Gutierrez, the local boy. Plays his club football in this stadium with the junior club of Barranquilla. And Teo, they call him Teo here. Gutierrez makes it 2-0 for Colombia. And Jose Peckerman's side well on the way to a major scalp here. And well on their way to ending Oscar Tabarez and Uruguay's unbeaten record, stretching to 18 games before today. Left to reflect, Forlan and company. Here's the pass. Beautifully timed run by Gutierrez. And a sure finish at the end of it. James Rodriguez with the pass. Gutierrez did the rest. Seemed to go right through the goalkeeper. And stand by for the chance of Teo. They'll be ringing around this stadium in a few seconds. It's been the tale of Colombia at the start of each half. Almost the same time as Falcao scored in the opening period. After just 2 minutes of the second half, Gutierrez has doubled the Colombian advantage. Torres. That was a decent chance. James Rodriguez unable to test Muslera. But there's plenty to like about this Colombia performance. Eager and with no little skill. Next up for Colombia is a tough-looking trip to Santiago on Tuesday to play Chile, who currently top the rankings on 12 points from 6 games, but the Chileans aren't playing in this round. This is effectively a catch-up game for both Colombia and Uruguay, playing their 6th game today. Well, it's going to close up in very interesting fashion if Colombia take all 3 points here. They'd move on to 10, Uruguay would stay on 11, Chile on 12. Uruguay, or rather should I say Argentina currently on 10, Ecuador on 9. Peruvians, for the record, bringing up the rear. They've got just 3 points from 5 games so far. Still a long, long way to go. 18 games to be played in total. Amero. James Rodriguez, all left foot. As we've seen, it's a quality left foot that set up the second goal for Gutierrez. James Rodriguez urging the crowd to lift the noise as he settles over this corner. A free kick rather. Aguilar. Gonzalez for Maxi Pereira. Goes down well by Amero, and the break's on here. This is James Rodriguez in towards Falcao. It's beyond him, and Gutierrez scores again. Pandemonium inside the Metropolitano Stadium in Barranquilla. The local boy does it again. Teo Gutierrez. And Colombia are sweeping themselves out of sight of Uruguay here. 3-0. Everywhere you look in the powder blue shirts of Uruguay, they're standing with hands on hips and wondering where it's all going wrong. Well, Maxi Pereira lost out. James Rodriguez took it on. I think he was looking for Falcao. It found its way through to Gutierrez. And he got in front of Alvaro Pereira to hammer the ball into the roof of the net. 2 goals for Gutierrez, 1 for Falcao. Colombia in dreamland. Well, very few people, if any, would have forecast this score. Previously unbeaten in qualifying, and not only that, in all competitions, including friendlies, Uruguay have gone 18 games without defeat. It's worth pointing out with this handsome Colombia lead that only Argentina have conceded fewer goals than the Colombians so far in this qualifying campaign. And Peckerman is getting a real tune out of his players today. Born out of sheer frustration, challenge on Valencia. Referee hasn't sought to show a yellow card yet. Perez with a challenge. real swagger here, Colombia.
Gutierrez. Torres. Every pass greeted by an ole. This is Luis Amaranto Pereira Mosquera to give him his full title, known in his time at Atletico Madrid, where he played for a decade. Simply Luis Pereira. Plays in Mexico now, 33-year-old centre-back with Cruz Azul. Diego Perez. Well, it's party time inside this stadium, and if you've never been to Colombia, I urge you to visit. Really got their house in order these days, and nowhere, I can tell you, in the country where they party as hard as here in Barranquilla. They don't need any excuse normally, but when their football team is beating Uruguay 3-0, let me tell you, the party will go on for days if they hold what they have. It's time for Uruguay to find fresh legs. Gaston Ramirez is going to come on, attacking midfielder. Here's Falcao. Forlan. Good pace shown there by Zuniga. Armero. Torres. Looking for Falcao. Gonzalez. Disappointing pass. Breaks down so tamely for Uruguay. James Rodriguez. Torres. Aguilar. Everybody keen for a touch in a yellow shirt. Away by Lugano. This is Armero. Gutierrez. Not one nutmeg, but two. Crowd loved it. And this is a painful watch if your persuasions lie with Uruguay. Still over half an hour to go. So not completely beyond. It's normally a free-scoring Uruguay team. A lovely ball from Forlan. Goalkeeper committed and made sure he didn't handle. He's injured himself, Ospina. And he must have been close to being tempted to use his hand here, rushing outside his penalty area to meet Cavani. He actually did touch his hand. And he was outside his 18-yard line. No great, let's see from this angle. Well, I think it touched his midriff first and maybe rebounded onto an arm or a hand. No, I think it was hand first, looking at that angle. I think he's got away with it. Treatment needed for David Ospina. Plays in France with Nice. rowing themselves to victory here, Colombia, and how they are enjoying it. Time for the experienced heads to get together here. Forlan, Lugano. Uruguay made that switch whilst the goalkeeper Ospina was getting attention. Gaston Ramirez is on. Just made his move to the English Premier League, Ramirez, with Southampton, having left the Italian club Bologna. Big money transfer. Free kick won by Ramirez. It's a silly free kick given away by Christian Rodriguez. Had his namesake James Rodriguez boxed in here. Plays with a maturity, the 21-year-old, way beyond those years. Said it was his dream to pull on the number 10 shirt for Colombia. Once worn, of course, by arguably the greatest Colombian player of all time, El Pibe, Carlos Valderrama, he of the hair and the moustache. I'm sure you must remember him. And well, the way Falcao is going, he may end up usurping even the great Valderrama as the best ever to pull on the international shirt of Colombia. Aguilar. Good ball from Aguilar to Torres. Decent hit and well claimed by Muslera. Just been harried out of their normal smooth stride, the Uruguayans. Now this very energetic Colombia display. Ramirez work it wide here for Alvaro Pereira. Now Forlan. Ambitious from there. Valdez. pensive Oscar Tabarez. A long time since he's been in a position like this. Falcao thought that should have been a Colombia throw. It's gone the way of the Uruguayans, who need something to happen, and quickly. No question that Uruguay have missed their top scorer in qualifying, Luis Suarez. Any side would miss his presence. Having said that, I think even if he had been out there today, so good has been the Colombia performance, both with the ball and without it, I don't think it would have made too much difference. They can't afford to switch off. We know this Uruguay team can score even without Suarez, particularly through Forlan, who's deciding he's going to gamble whenever he gets the side of the target. He's going to have a go. It's the quieter part of the stadium. Christian Rodriguez. Goalkeepers all the way, saw that quite comfortably. Cross from Alvaro Gonzalez. Torres. Just out to Ramirez. Alvaro Pereira. Rodriguez. Ramirez. Final touch, I think, came off Cavani. Assistant referee saw it that way. Goal kick to Colombia. With a quarter of the match remaining. Hard to see how Uruguay are going to turn this one around. Barely had a save of note to make. Ospina, probably his most tricky moment, that incident where he came out of his penalty area some 3 or 4 minutes ago and seemed to handle the ball, got away with that. Valencia. Foul by Arevalo Rios. Here's Torres. Been very impressed with that triumvirate in midfield of Aguilar, Torres and Valencia. All have had excellent games. In fact, anywhere you look, they play in a yellow shirt. They've had a good game, and Almero trying to add his name to the score sheet. Goalkeeper got a touch to the shot. Might have been travelling wide anyway. Let's see. No, took no chances. It's a corner. James Rodriguez to take. This is Gaston Ramirez. Edged out of that easily by Almero. This is Rodriguez. Struck it well. He went for the percentages there. He was either going to hit the target or maybe pick out a teammate at the far post. ultimately it went in between the two areas that he was aiming. Worth a try though from the position he was in. Closing down again, Forlan. Just too quick there, Pereira, for him. Zuniga. Gutierrez. It's another corner to Colombia, but if anything they look like adding to their lead rather than being pegged back. Torres with the corner. Beyond Falcao, away by Perez. Almero. Rodriguez. Almero. Gutierrez. Falcao. Pereira. Aguilar. Another good run by Gutierrez, who's sniffing a hat-trick in what's turning into a memorable day for Colombia. Just beyond 5 o'clock, late afternoon stroke early evening in the city of Barranquilla, which is the national home these days for the Colombian team. It's Uruguay getting ready to make their third and final substitution. This is Almero. Aguilar. Falcao. Can't get onto the return from Torres. Here's Christian Rodriguez. Pereira. Decent run from Forlan. Not a single Uruguayan shirt inside the penalty area as he sought to get the early cross in. So it's Walter Gargano coming on to replace Aravaldo Rios. It's a straight swap at the heart of the midfield. Could have risked Tabarez bringing on another striker in Sebastian Abreu, but decides against it. Maybe feeling that the game is gone. It looks that way, doesn't it? Well, they can take so much confidence from this performance, Colombia. Interesting to see how they fare next Tuesday in Santiago against Chile. Have had a good campaign in qualifying so far. 12 points from 6 games for Chile. Top of the rankings, they're going to stay there. If Uruguay lose here, without kicking a ball, the Chileans in this round. Argentina, of course, can go above Chile if they were to win their 6th match out of 18. And it's bunching up and turning into a very watchable and interesting South American World Cup qualification, the most difficult on the planet. Don't think there's any doubt about that. Here's Rodriguez. Almero. James Rodriguez wants it on the left foot. Couldn't transfer it quickly enough. Aguilar. Breaks kindly here for Armero. He's onside here, Gutierrez. Shots deflected, well claimed by Muslera. Torres with a shot. This is going to be quite a scalp for Colombia against a team who reached the semi-finals of the World Cup in South Africa in 2010. A year later they surprised everyone, maybe not entirely themselves, by winning the Copa America in Argentina. Enough to get them to the Confederations Cup in Brazil next year. Only the second time they've qualified for that. Forerunner, of course, for the World Cup itself in Brazil 2014. I'm sure Uruguay will be there, but this has not been one of the most memorable days. And sometimes you have to hold your hands up and give credit to the opponents. Colombia have been excellent. Corner from Forlan. Offside, Diego Forlan. And he's going to make his first substitution, Jose Peckerman. Going to bring on Aldo Ramirez, who's a midfielder. Plays in Mexico with Morelia. Gargano. Forlan did well under pressure, taken on by Gargano. Cavani. Good run ahead of him here. It's side netting only. Gaston Ramirez. It's a good run onto the Cavani pass, but the angle was against him. Colombia making that first substitution of the day. And Abel Aguilar can be well pleased with his performance, and pretty much like for like with Ramirez coming on to replace him, the heart of the midfield. Torres, Falcao, James Rodriguez, now Valencia. There's a bit of confusion as to who's coming off here for Colombia. James Rodriguez was making the move, but it's going to be the local boy Teofilo Gutierrez. 2 goals for the striker born in this city of Barranquilla, and the crowd rise to applaud his contribution. Even outscoring the great Falcao whilst he was on the pitch. Carlos Quintero is the replacement. Plays in Mexico, the striker with Santos Laguna. out of play before Ramirez could be a problem to the Colombia defence. This is the goal that really sealed it, I think, fairly early on in the second half. His second of the game, Colombia's third. Gutierrez celebrates with delighted teammates. 10 minutes to go. Cavani. Gargano just beaten for pace there. Falcao couldn't keep the attack going. Here's Gargano. Forlan. Top scorers in qualifying so far, still to find a goal. 14 goals in 5 games before today for Uruguay. In by Pereira. Valdez is there first, turned away by Pereira. Falcao. Nice nimble feet from Valencia. Been very impressed with him. Plays in Brazil with Fluminense. His feet were way too quick there for Gargano. And that's the first booking of the game I can recall. Christian Rodriguez gets away from Armero. And he's got Ramirez for company now, and Armero again. He's done well, Christian Rodriguez. Here's Alvaro Gonzalez. They wanted too long. They've not been in the mood to allow a Uruguayan player much time at all in possession tonight, the Colombians. And right at it from the opening whistle. The final switch of the game, we'll see Carlos Sanchez coming on to replace James Rodriguez. So much more to come from the 21-year-old number 10, James Rodriguez. New man, Carlos Sanchez, plays in France with Valenciennes. Free kick against Quintero. Here's Forlan, flag stays down. He's claiming a deflection. Forlan having a look at the assistant on this near side. Now, did he? I think he timed his run there. The assistant thought so too. Flag stayed down, but neither the assistant or the man in the middle gave Forlan a corner. I don't think it was either. Quintero. Gargano. Falcao. Just unable to transfer that on to Quintero. Heading towards the final 5 minutes. Points
all but assured for Colombia. With their first home win in World Cup qualifying, having already been held here by Venezuela 1-1 and a 2-1 defeat against Argentina. It's a corner earned by Gaston Ramirez. He's put in a shift. Valencia has been everywhere in that midfield. Pereira, Forlan. Decent cross. Put it back in by Lugano. Here's Forlan. And Cavani! That was a decent opportunity for Edinson Cavani. Touch off the thigh was good, but once again the closing down was brisk from Colombia. It's been a feature of their performance. Well, often managers or head coaches look for the negatives in a display from their team first and foremost. I'm struggling to find any in this display. Both with and without the ball, Colombia have been very impressive. Here's Quintero. Falcao! Onside! Good save from Muslera. Still the attack's alive here though. Falcao looking for a shooting position again, can't find one. And here's Pereira. Good ball to pick out Cavani, but well judged by Pereira. Well, you'd have had everything on Falcao, make it 4-0 there. It's everything he touches turns to gold in and around goal of late. Here's Quintero. Falcao might still get his goal. Oh, beautiful football from Colombia. Quintero can't get it past Muslera, but they work the opening supremely well. Lovely ball from Ramirez to pick out Quintero. Disguise on that. It's the earlier chance for Falcao. Gargano. Ramirez. Goalkeeper read that situation well to deny Cavani. And it's very rare that Uruguay pull up short in terms of scoring goals. It would be a real boost to already burgeoning Colombian confidence if they can keep a clean sheet for the couple of minutes or so that remain. Crowd are loving this little bit of showboating now from Colombia as they pass the ball around seemingly at will. Here's Forlan taking on Pereira and doing well to get round him. It's Forlan! Good save from Ospina. That's his first meaningful save of the game, and it's come just into the 90th minute. Forlan. Gonzalez only finding the head of Pereira. Forward by Godin. Comfortable for Valdez. Armero. Quintero's looked sharp since he came on. Here's Aldo Ramirez.
Almero. Quintero. Just heading into stoppage time. Oh, nice pass from Falcao. Chance for 4-0, it is 4. And this day just gets better and better and better for Colombia. Zuniga puts the icing on a very, very tasty cake for these fans. One of the most memorable days in Colombian football history. Camilo Zuniga makes it Colombia 4, Uruguay 0. And they couldn't have dreamed about a result like this. Lovely layoff from Falcao and an excellent little touch from Zuniga to open up the shot. He started it and he most certainly finished it through the legs there of Pereira. Goalkeeper got something on it but couldn't keep it out. We'll get this scoreline. Colombia 4, Uruguay, previously unbeaten in qualifying, 0. Well, he'll just have to accept that his team, Oscar Tabarez, have been distinctly second best. Thoroughly deserved that 4th goal, the Colombians. Almost had it through both Quintero and Falcao, just minutes before Zuniga hit the back of the net. And the referee says that's enough. Uruguay's unbeaten record in World Cup qualifying comes to an end. And decisively, they've been soundly beaten here by a brilliant, absolutely superb Colombia performance under Jose Pekerman. Falcao got the opening goal. His strike partner Teofilo Gutierrez added 2 more. Then the fullback Camilo Zuniga in stoppage time. And frankly, Uruguay never looked like coming from behind, even at 1-0, never mind 2, 3 and then 4. It could have been more, in all honesty, for Colombia. And what a fillip to their World Cup qualifying campaign and their trip to Santiago in Chile on Tuesday. Uruguay have a home game against Ecuador when they most certainly need to bounce back from a day that they will want to forget Diego Forlan and company very, very quickly. In stark contrast, the party is only beginning for Colombia and their delighted supporters. As good a display as I've seen from Colombia for some time, and these fans will certainly remember it. Final score at the Metropolitano Roberto Melendez Stadium in Barranquilla. Colombia 4, Uruguay 0.